You say there's a lot of people out here with quasi-religious beliefs when it comes to AI. Why don't we start off with the people who think it's going to help humanity? How do those religious beliefs, how do they potentially lead to a good outcome?
So one of the things that I think the public doesn't generally see with all of the AI activity that is happening now in the consumer space and in the business space is that it's ultimately driven by these ideologies that I call quasi-religious within Silicon Valley. And so I call them the AGI religion believers, and there's two factions. There's the boomers and the doomers, artificial general intelligence.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so they have this belief that we are able to fundamentally recreate human intelligence in computers. This is not a scientific belief. There isn't actually evidence that this is possible. It has long been a dream within the field of AI development that we might one day get there. But there are people who believe it is absolutely going to happen, it's absolutely around the corner, and that it's either going to lead us to utopia or to everyone dying. And I call it quasi-religious because there is not really evidence that you can point to one way or another. But when I was reporting my book, what I found was they really had this deep-seated spiritual conviction that it was either one or the other. And they're usually called the boomers and the doomers. And the clash between these two groups is what's led to a rapid acceleration of AI advancement.
I just want to make sure I understand. So this is the positive side, that people have a belief that you're, again, calling quasi-religious, it's your words, that a computer can basically simulate the human brain, and you think that's going to lead to a good outcome?
It is, both of them have the same exact belief that computers can simulate the brain, but the difference between them, and this is why I say that they're factions of the same religion, is some people think this will be civilizationally positive and others think it'll be civilizationally devastating. And again, it's a belief. There's no actual grounding. You can't really point to evidence for one or the other. And so it's really just a theoretical projection that they have based on their own value systems and how they think the world works.
Beliefs you can't track. They're in everybody's mind, heart, whatever else.
Yeah.
One thing we can track, though, is research when it comes to safety. Now, according to your book, when it comes to OpenAI, at least when you were writing the book, even Sam Altman believes that OpenAI is behind when it comes to investing in AI safety.
Yes. So one of the things that OpenAI has happened throughout its history is they have both the boomer and doomer factions within the company that are constantly wrestling with how should they be developing and deploying AI. And so the boomers were always like, we need to develop it as fast as possible and release it, because if this can actually bring us to utopia, we want to get to utopia faster. And then the doomers think we need to develop it as fast as possible, but maintain control over it, not release it, so that we actually have a lead time to do this so-called safety research, try and perfect the models before it gets introduced into society. And time and again within OpenAI's history, there have been the boomers have essentially won out. They have developed the technology really fast and then sent it out into the world before the doomers felt that there was a sufficient amount of time to actually perfect the technologies.
We have to go. You wrote a really fascinating book, but very quickly, what side are you on? Do you think it's going to lead to utopia or the end of the world?
It's neither. There's a lot of positive impacts that AI can have, and they're also negative, but it's not quasi-religious. This is happening in the real world right now, and we can document that evidence.
All right.